What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? How are we doing? Ravens win. How are we feeling after a Ravens win today? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the headphones off. I don't need them more. I don't need the headphones on today. How are we doing, everybody? Let me bring this chat up. Where's my mouse at? Oh, here it is. What is up, everybody? Let me go. I'm gonna share this live stream real quick. Real quick. Go here. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone feeling after that win? Great win. Great win. Absolutely amazing, immaculate, strategic, just all around great win. Great win. It felt good finally being in the not finally being in the win column. We were in the win column last week, but it's fine. It feels good not having to worry with 10 minutes left in the game. Being up 25, that felt good. That felt good. Because like usually if we're up 18, 17, you don't know what's going to happen. 25 though, 25's cool. I'm cool at 25. I'm going to let some more people join real quick. It's a weird time to be streaming. 137. It's a very, very weird time to be streaming today. Probably won't get too many people in here, but we'll get a decent amount of people. We'll get a decent amount in here. I'm going to let some more people join real quick. We're only 2 minutes in. We'll probably go live for about half an hour today. At least half an hour. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Well, you know what? While people are just joining in, we'll go ahead and get started. Y'all see the title. Feed the Beast. Derrick Henry. You know, the people at the end of the bar, the people that have been at the end of the bar, we've been saying it for a while. You just got to give it to your running back. Even if your running back is Gus Edwards, J.K., Justice Hill, whoever it is, run the ball. Now we got Derrick Henry, and the first game against the Kansas City Chiefs, he had 15 rushes. We want him to be 30. Actually, I don't know if I think he had like 12. But John Harbaugh, you know, talking about the people at the end of the bar, said, you know, he won't get 30 every game, this and that, talking about 30 carries and all that. Well, he's got 25 the last 2 games, and he's put up about almost 200 yards in each of them. So I think we figured out the people at the end of the bar know what they're talking about. We know football. We know what we're talking about. Get Derrick Henry the ball and see what happens. Great things happen when you get the man the ball. Amazing things. Great things happen when that man gets the ball. Every single time. Unless you can't block Max Crosby, but that's for another day. The O-line's been playing so much better since then, so I don't even care. I don't even care. The O-line, they've been playing so good, it's all right. They don't matter. They had their 2 weeks to get used to it. The third week looked way better. This week looked immaculate. And I think a big part of that was a new player that they put in at right tackle, which we're going to be getting to later on in the stream. We're going to be getting to it. But to start it off, I mean, what a win. 35-10, Baltimore Ravens beat the Buffalo Bills. Player of the game, play of the game, Derrick Henry. Started the game off with an 87-yard rushing touchdown, which ended up being the longest run in Baltimore Ravens history. First play on offense. Very first play. We've been saying it for a while. All we got to do is get the man the ball. And one thing about Derrick Henry is that if you get him going in the first quarter, you're probably not winning. If Derrick Henry gets going, it's going to be you're not going to be able to stop him later on in the game. And it just so happened that his first carry went 87 yards for a touchdown. So, I mean, at that point, I'm not going to say I knew we were going to win, but I knew what type of game it was going to be. It was going to be the Derrick Henry show. Simple as that. Derrick Henry show. 209 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. Could have been 3, but he was squeezing the ball too hard. It slipped right out of his – we're not even going to talk about that. He's going to get it right. If you guys watched this post-game press conference, or not post-game interview with NBC, you could tell he was upset about it. He wanted that 3rd touchdown, and he wanted 200 rushing yards. He wanted it bad. But PFF, top graded player of the game. Let's start with the offense. There's so much. Actually, no, I'll put it like this. All that he say, she say. Lamar. Stop comparing your QB to Lamar, because guess what? He isn't Lamar. When we needed Lamar to make a pass last night, he made a pass. When we needed Lamar to make a run last night, he made a run. The only bad thing about Lamar's whole night was that fumble. It looks like it didn't really affect us that much. Lamar played an outstanding game of football. Perfect passes everywhere. The only pass that I can remember was really off was the pass to Nelson Aguilar on the left side of the field, which I didn't know Nelly had springs like that. That man can jump out of the gym. I had no idea. I knew Nelly was athletic, but I didn't know he could get up like that, but he got up. Other than that, Lamar Jackson played a flawless game of football. Other than those 2 mistakes, absolutely flawless. Justice Hill played an outstanding game. I think he had about 78 yards receiving, had a touchdown. Was beautiful to see him out of the backfield. Going into the season, a lot of us were talking about the thunder and lightning dynamic duo between Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell, but it seems like we have that right now with Justice Hill. I don't know what they're going to do when Keaton Mitchell gets back. I don't know if they're going to try to integrate him into the run game, maybe make him more of a slot gadget guy. I don't know how they're going to integrate Keaton Mitchell into this offense, but they're going to find a way. And when they do, it's going to be even more scary because Keaton Mitchell is a whole entire playmaker himself. He's the definition of a playmaker. He makes plays whenever you need him to make a play. Keaton Mitchell is that guy. So to see Justice Hill being on the rise and the stuff that he can do in the pass game, his pass protection, catching the ball out of the backfield, routing defenders up, going into the end zone, it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see that out of Justice Hill, just because not only does it take pressure off of the entire offense, but it allows Derrick Henry to just play however he wants. Just give Derrick Henry the ball. Now you know whenever Justice Hill comes in, you don't know what to expect. You don't. Pat Ricard had an 83 PFF grade. I think Pat Ricard played an amazing game. He had that trap block on the first play was amazing by Pat Ricard. And then you go all the way down. Derrick Henry had a 40-yard rush to the left side of the field. Pat Ricard blocked the linebacker and DeMar Hamlin at the same time. Just an absolute outstanding play by Pat Ricard. And he had the touchdown. When Derrick Henry fumbled going into the end zone, Pat Ricard was the one that recovered it for a touchdown. So great play by Pat. This was definitely his best game of the year so far, and I think these were the most snaps that he's taken in a game so far as well. Derrick Henry, they gave him an 81.5 grade. It's whatever. I don't know what else he could have really done better. I mean, receiving touchdown. Other than, his fumble definitely dropped his grade a lot, I believe. But still, Derrick Henry, outstanding game. Player of the game, definitely. And then like we were talking about in the beginning, right tackle Roger Rosengarten. We have been really wanting to see Roger get his chance at right tackle. Against the Chiefs, he came in the first play against Chris Jones. He didn't. He gave up a sack fumble. Other than that, he's held his own pretty much every single play that he's been in. And last night, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't hear Von Miller's name or Gregory Rousseau's name at all. Roger Rosengarten is our right tackle, and that's period, end of it. McCary, you can play wherever you want, but it's not right tackle. That is Roger Rosengarten's job. Allowed 0 pressures on 20 dropbacks. Just an absolutely outstanding game by Roger. And this is going to be the thing. This is going to be an interesting point going forward, especially going into the Cincinnati Bengals game. The Bengals are a very bad defense right now. And that's just being completely as objective as possible. The Commanders scored on every single drive that they went down. The Panthers easily could have made that game closer. In my opinion, that game was long gone after the two terrible PIs called against Carolina going into the end of the half. But it'll be interesting to see if they keep McCary on that left side because of how strong he is in the run game. I think Andrew Voorhees is not as good in the run game, but slightly better in the pass game. But it's going to be interesting to see if they keep McCary on that left side or if they want to bring Voorhees back in, maybe switch McCary out with Falele. But at the same time, Falele, he had a really good game too. Falele played outstanding compared to his first 2 weeks. Week 1 played terrible. Week 2 played a little less terrible. Week 3 showed some signs. We saw some really good stuff out of him in week 3. But this week he played very, very good. This must have been the potential that they saw in Falele because he played straight up great football out there. I can only remember a select handful of plays that didn't look good. But other than that, compared to what we saw week 1 and 2, he played amazing. Moving on to the defense, Kyle Van Noy, that man, that's probably the best in-season signing I think the Ravens have ever made. Kyle Van Noy has been simply unstoppable on this team, and it really doesn't make sense. He's had 6 sacks in 3 games with a fractured orbital bone. It doesn't make sense. He had a clutch sack against Josh Allen. Then they tried that trick play. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why they tried the trick play, but they tried it. Kyle Van Noy strip sack. Travis Jones absolutely laid Josh Allen out. What a hit by Travis Jones. But Kyle Van Noy, he has been amazing so far this season. Odafe Oweh with an 89.1 grade. He was getting held all game. I don't know what the NFL has against Odafe Oweh, but when you continuously put a player in a chokehold every single play, you would think that it would get called probably at least 2-3 times. But since it's Odafe, I guess they don't. I don't know if it's a Ravens thing or what, but they did not call a single hold. And now I can probably count about 20 where he was getting strangled off the line. I firmly believe if they would either not hold him or would start calling some penalties, we would be even better on defense. I could easily see Odafe having 7-8 sacks right now. And I know that sounds crazy because it's been 4 weeks, but Odafe has been getting held each and every play. It is terrible. The refs have to do something about it. Dion Dog, shout out to him, but he was holding Odafe every single play. It was terrible. And then the rookie, Nate Wiggins, third best defensive PFF grade with 80.9. Nate Wiggins, he had two gift wrapped to him. One hit him right in the stomach. The other one hit him right in the hands. But he's a rookie. He's going to get it cleaned up. He's going to end up turning those into interceptions. He's probably going to start taking them back for 6 too. Nate Wiggins played great, very sticky in coverage. Quick reaction time. He's always on the ball. The last part about him is he just needs to catch the ball now. And I think once he starts doing that, it's gonna completely change our defense. I think Nate Wiggins will probably finish the year with 4 or 5 interceptions, especially if they keep throwing at him the way that they are. I don't know why they I don't know why they are throwing at him the way that they are. I know you're trying to get the ball to your guys, but man, Nate Wiggins has been amazing in coverage so far. He's been absolutely great. And another thing about Nate Wiggins is that a lot of people were talking about his size coming into the league, getting drafted. A lot of people were talking about, oh, he's so small, injury, more susceptible to injury, this and that. Nate Wiggins has been getting physical out there, like physical. And he doesn't look small at all. He might not be big size-wise, but he's physical. He can come down to the line of scrimmage and make plays for us. I mean, you saw it on the one play. I think they ran the ball to James Cook, and he came down and just laid him out. Granted, he was also getting tackled by Justin Madubuike or Travis Jones, one or the other, but still, he can come down and he can hit. He can hit. Now, this part, I just thought this was funny because y'all see me go back and forth with Bills fans. I'm all for the smack talk, this and that, but once you start getting disrespectful, we can get disrespectful. Gladly. I'm cool with getting disrespectful if you want to get disrespectful. These Bills fans, all week, they were in my mentions talking about how many touchdowns Josh Allen had. They were talking about his EPA. They were talking about how they were 3-0, even though they were playing some of the worst teams in the entire NFL. In my mentions all week, talking about how bad Lamar Jackson was, how they've blown these teams out. Do you forget who you're playing against? You're playing against the Baltimore Ravens, and you think like it makes no sense. Hansel, I don't know. I respect to dude for being a Bills fan, whatever. Talks too much stuff. The Dolphins needed to beat the Bills, and Buffalo won by 21. The Jags needed to beat the Bills. Buffalo won by 37. The Ravens need to beat the Bills. Buffalo lost by 25. Shout out Adam. If you guys if y'all don't follow Adam on Twitter, go follow him. Go follow him. Great content. But man, these Bills fans, I don't know what's up with them. I don't know if they think that since they haven't won anything that they can just talk. I don't know if they're jealous that their QB hasn't gotten the accomplishments and the accolades that Lamar has. But it's like they want their quarterback to be so good, except when he gets chances to be good, he gets carried. And I put out a tweet talking about this. Mahomes had Tyreek. Allen had Diggs. Burrow had Chase and Higgins. Herbert had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. All these QBs around the league, they've always had top-tier talent to play with. Yet Lamar never has but succeeded above all of them except for Mahomes. But now that Lamar has a running mate in Derrick Henry, it's like they act like he's not good now. Do you realize why your team had to play in nickel the whole entire game? It's because of the passing threat that Lamar provides on the field, which opens up the lane for Derrick Henry to be able to run like he does. If you don't want Derrick Henry to run on you, go in 3-4-4-4 and see what happens. Watch Lamar throw 300 on you. If you want to act like Lamar's whatever, cool. You got your personal opinion, even though it's completely wrong and you don't understand football. You don't. If you're sitting here saying Lamar isn't a top 2, arguably top 1 quarterback in the league right now, I'm sorry, but you don't know what you're talking about. Just straight up. You don't. You haven't been watching. You got your own personal narrative, whatever you want to say. But when these Bills fans are in my mentions all the time, all week, talking all this and that, I leave it to my guys on the field. And Lamar proved that today. Yesterday, I should say. Proved it. There's no one I would rather, there's no one I would bet against in the league like I would not bet against Lamar Jackson. Like Lamar Jackson, he's different. He's really different. And you can try to say that your quarterback is as explosive, as dynamic. I'm cool with all that. Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback. He is dynamic. He's about 6'5", 250, strong arm, can throw a bullet, amazing player. But don't compare him to Lamar Jackson because any quarterback in the league, they're not Lamar. You could talk about Mahomes. Let's talk about Mahomes right now. 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Let's talk about it. If we're being completely honest, the only 3 QBs in the league that are on Mahomes or on Lamar's tier right now is Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. If we're going out of right now, today, truth, tell them. Tell them it's the truth. We can act like it's not all we want, but guess what? It's the truth. Lamar is Lamar, and your QB will never be Lamar. You can be mad about how your QB doesn't have MVPs, whatever you say. Guess what? When you throw 40 interceptions, you're not winning shit. It's simple as that. Let's not take common sense out of it. I don't care about how many touchdowns. You can have 10 touchdowns in a game. I don't care if you have 10 turnovers, it don't matter. You can talk about EPA this, EPA that, talking about how Josh Allen is just so efficient. Was he efficient last night? Was he? Because I know Lamar was. Lamar didn't miss a pass. Lamar's efficient beyond efficient. Derrick Henry carried the team, and Lamar still had 3 touchdowns. All they want to do is talk about touchdowns, so let's talk about it. Lamar had 3 touchdowns while not even doing anything. Lamar got to take the back seat last night and still had 3 touchdowns. Y'all talking about Derrick Henry won this, won that. Guess what? Lamar's the whole reason it even works. As we see tonight, or yesterday, I should say. We saw it. Lamar's the reason it works. So stop comparing your QB to Lamar. Stop. Because he ain't Lamar. I promise you he ain't. Let's move on to some statistics while we're at it. Josh Allen, 16 of 29, 180 yards and a fumble. Lamar Jackson, 13 of 18, 156 yards, 2 passing touchdowns and a fumble. James Cook had 9 carries for 39 yards, while Derrick Henry had 24 carries for 199 yards and a touchdown, not to mention a receiving touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 4 for 62. He had a pretty good game. Had the one deep throw, or deep catch, I should say, by Josh Allen. Great run out by Josh Allen. Great throw. Hit him downfield, got him down to, I believe, the 3-yard line, 3-2, somewhere around there. They ended up running it in with, I believe, Ty Johnson. I forget the dude's name. Ty something. And then Justice Hill, the unsung player of this team. I remember just a week ago, Justice Hill got a 2-year contract extension for $6 million. And I saw a lot of people, they were talking about how they didn't really like the deal. We're signing a running back when we need O-line help, this and that. Well, this is why you sign a Justice Hill. This is exactly why. Because, one, he's amazing on special teams. He can come in as a returner. He can play gunner. He's an amazing special teams player. Arguably one of the best backup running backs in the entire football league. The explosiveness that he possesses throughout every single run, every single catch, the type of yards he can get after contact, his balance, it's been amazing. And then you add in the pass pro and the receiving aspect of his game. Justice Hill has been an amazing player for the Baltimore Ravens this year, and being able to get him on a contract extension for 2 years, $6 million, that's another EDC steal. That's a great signing by EDC. Some people don't like it, and that's okay. Everyone has their opinion. But it's a great signing by EDC. Justice Hill had 6 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Multiple third down conversions. Multiple broken tackles that led us even further down the field. He played amazing. Absolutely amazing game by him. Receiving-wise, no one really caught the ball too much. The running backs had the most receptions. Justice Hill had 6. Derrick Henry had 3. Likely, Bateman, and Flowers combined had 3 catches. Zay had 10 yards. Bateman had 23 yards on that little corner route. Isaiah Likely had 26 yards. Great catch by Isaiah Likely. Nelly, he had a couple big plays. I remember the third down conversion earlier on in the game. Lamar threw an absolute dart to Nelly. Tough catch. Getting sandwiched by 2 defenders. Made the catch, made the play. Great, great catch by Nelly. And Mark Andrews. There's something going on with Mark Andrews mentally. And I think that as soon as he gets that one big catch, just one big catch, even if it's just a 20-yard catch, as soon as Mark does that, I think it'll click. But as of right now, there's something going on with Mark that I don't think is physical. He's an amazing blocker out there. He's been blocking his tail off. But it's just something mentally that I think it, like last night, for example, he turned his head way before catching the ball and dropped it. Wide open drop. Could have been a 25, 30-yard catch. He had no one in front of him. But I think as soon as Mark gets that one big catch, that one big moment, I think he'll be back. And when he gets back, and gets his mind right, it's going to be amazing. Because just thinking about adding Mark Andrews' skill set receiving into this offense, it's going to be amazing to watch. And before I skip over it, Lamar Jackson, even on the ground, had 6 for 54 and a touchdown. Limited carries, just 6. Still averaged 9 a carry. Amazing, amazing, amazing game for Lamar and Derrick Henry. Amazing. Moving on to the defense, Kyle Hamilton, he plays like he's shot out of a cannon. That man is just explosive. Says he didn't have a tackle for loss, but I think we all know on that first drive he had a tackle for loss on James Cook. Marlon Humphrey has been playing great. He had a pass deflection against Khalil Shakir, crosser from right to left, undercut it, got to handle the ball. Great play. Great play. Roquan Smith, even though he's still not looking the best as possible, he's still making plays, hitting hard. I think he played a little bit better this game. Trenton Simpson played good. Brandon Stevens, he had a couple tough catches made on him. I know y'all know me. I said Keon Coleman was going to be a top 3 receiver out of his class, and a lot of people killed me for it. But I think he went to a good offense. What he brings to the Bills' offense is going to benefit them years from now. Keon Coleman's a great receiver, especially in jump ball situations, which he capitalized on from Brandon Stevens. Even with that, Brandon Stevens played a very good game, I think. He allowed a couple completions. Yes, so what? He didn't allow any points. Decent game by Brandon Stevens. Travis Jones, he's a monster. Travis Jones, I know we all saw the play where Kavian stripped Josh Allen when he was going back to throw. Travis Jones just murdered him. Murdered him. Tough hit. Kyle Van Noy coming in clutch. Adafe Owe coming in clutch. Nate Wiggins playing good. Really, the whole defense was on point today. I think the whole defense, including Zach Orris, finally found their groove. I know if you go back to, I believe it was 2021, whenever we first got Mike Mack, we saw a resemblance. Or maybe it was 2022, I can't remember. But we saw the resemblance. The first few weeks, it was just tough. There were coverage busts. There were defensive breakdowns, communication problems. But it took him a few weeks. And once we saw him for a few weeks, it clicked. Kyle was all over, and Marlon played solid. He did. Kyle, he was all over. Such a great player. B. Steve Coleman mad me too. Really great catches on B. Steve. Can't do much. Really, yeah, that's just Coleman being Coleman. That's what he did at Florida State. Amazing, amazing receiver, especially in jump ball situations. That's his strong suit. And when you're going up against a player like Brandon Stevens, who tends to get his head turned later on throughout the play before the ball gets there, it can lead to plays like that. One of the things that I want to see out of Brandon Stevens, especially throughout these next few games, going up against Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those guys, I want to see him get his head turned quicker. Because if he does turn his head, some of those plays could have been interceptions, I believe. There was a low pass to Keon Coleman. It was a back shoulder fade. If he could have got his head turned, there's a good chance that he's intercepting that pass. But it's early on in the season, so I'm going to give him a little bit of leeway. But I think B. Steve, he still played good. He still played good. And he's going to continue to play good. Last point of the day. Back to Raj. Rodgers 100% our right tackle from now on. You're not putting McCary back there. It would be foolish to put McCary back at right tackle after what Roger Rosengarten did yesterday. 0% pressure rate on 20 snaps. It's just amazing to see someone like Roger, who didn't play a single snap last game. He didn't play a single snap. They didn't use him at all last game. In this game, he comes in going against a young premier pass rusher in Greg Rousseau. Even Von Miller. Might not be the Von Miller that we were used to seeing back in 2015, 16, 17. But still an amazing pass rusher. He's honestly found the fountain of youth through the first 3 games. Von Miller's been playing really good football. Yet we didn't hear a single thing about Von or Greg the whole game. And in large part was because of Ronnie and Roger. The fact that Roger can come in as a rookie and make the type of strides that he has is flat out insane. And I think the Ravens would be flat out foolish to put anyone at right tackle other than Roger. Now, what you want to do when Voorhees comes back, like we said earlier, do you put Voorhees in and then take McCary out? Maybe rotate McCary and Falele? I don't know what you do, but in my opinion, I know we have Voorhees on the field. I would leave it how it is. I would leave it exactly how it is. Don't mess it up. Just because one thing that you never want to do is fix something that isn't broken. We just ran for almost 270 yards of offense, 300 yards, whatever we ran for. You can't mess that up. Keep Roger in. Let him play. And then however the left guard situation works out, let it work out. Whatever you want to do with it, let it work out. But in my opinion, I don't think you switch anything else around. I think it would be almost as if it was a backwards move, a move that makes you worse. If you have something that's working, you don't mess with it. And I think Raj, he's definitely the right tackle now. So whatever you want to do with Voorhees, McCary, and Falele, rotate them, whatever you want to do. Even Ben Cleveland, I'd still love to see Ben Cleveland in there. I don't think this is the best O-line, but we already know they ain't using Ben Cleveland. If for whatever reason he's in the doghouse, whatever it is, they ain't using Ben Cleveland. So whether they go Ronnie, McCary, Linderbaum, Falele, Rosengarten, or whether they go Ronnie with Voorhees and then maybe rotate Falele and McCary, however they want to do it. You can do it, but just don't mess it up. Whatever you do, do not mess it up because what we have going right now is great. The offensive line played their tail off. And honestly, I'm really proud. I'm very proud of how this offensive line played. Very proud. But that's all we got for today. Actually, I want to show y'all one thing real quick. My buddy Garrett. Shout out Garrett. He's a Bears fan. If y'all see a dude by the name of Leisure on Twitter talking mess underneath my post, that's Garrett. But he got me this for my birthday, man. Smack my knee. Hey, Peep Lamar. Peep Lamar. But I already know, most of y'all know, I used to keep a Lamar jersey. Back there on my chair. Now it's just going to be Lamar. Lamar going to be back there now. So, Garrett, I appreciate you for that gift. One of the best gifts ever, bro. I appreciate it greatly. But, yeah, now we got Lamar back there. Chilling. MVP. Best QB in the league. I don't care what no one got to say with it. If you got a problem, take it to Mark Ingram because he'll handle it. But I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for coming in here and spending time with me today. I know I haven't been consistent with the live streams at all. Work's been crazy. I've been busy as heck. But I'm going to keep trying to get more and more content out to you guys. I appreciate all of you guys following me, getting through, spending time in here. It's much appreciated. And if you haven't already, go to my YouTube channel, Stone_2X. The link is in my Twitter bio. Go sub, turn those notifications on just so you can get notified on there as well. I appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Peace.